We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are in chapter 1, text 42. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. Yes. This is Arjun still talking to Krishna. Let's read the purport. Community projects for the four orders of human society combined with family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatan Dharma or Varnashram Dharma are designed to enable the human being to attain his ultimate salvation. Therefore, the breaking of the Sanatan Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society. And consequently, people forget the aim of life, which is Vishnu. Such leaders are called blind, and the persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. Yes. So they are saying that the society, when so as being in India, we are like really lucky that we have an order of society. We know we have so much of culture. And the one who is not following this culture, like today we have so many questions about our the way we live, the way the society is. People are questioning marriage itself, right? Like why to get married? So these kind of questions and these kinds of like why to have kids, why to do this, why to have a family, why to go, in so all these things are now understood as the what do you say, the tradition. And the tradition is basically to lead you to a right path, which is ultimate salvation. But when you don't follow the tradition, which is laid out in this Sanatan Dharma or Varnashram Dharma, then yes, definitely you will lead into chaos, because then you will keep asking, what is the purpose of life? Why am I even living? For whom am I living? You know? Let's move to text 43. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Yes. So disciplic succession is basically people who, like Krishna once said the Bhagavad Gita to Sun God. Sun God said it to his son. His son said it to one sage. So all that करके disciplic succession बनती है. तो वैसे नारद, Narad Muni, he said the Bhagavad Gita to Vyas. Vyas Muni will say, has said it to like this Arjun. Now new disciplic succession will start when Arjun has heard the Bhagavad Gita directly from the Lord, and now Arjun will preach to other people. So वैसे उसको बोलते हैं disciplic succession. Let's read the purport. Arjun bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. Yes. So one cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in the Varnashram institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. So one who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschitta. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities. Yes. Let's move to text 44. Alas, How strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on kill. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Yes. Let's read the purport. Driven by selfish motives, one may be inclined to such sinful acts as the killing of one's own brother, father, or mother. There are many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjun, being a saintly devotee of the Lord, is always conscious of moral principles and therefore takes care to avoid such activities. Yes. Let's move to text 45. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra's, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Let's read the purport. It is the custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principles, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjun, however, decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft-heartedness resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. So, being a Kshatriya, he should be always in the fighting spirit. If he is not in that fighting spirit, the principle is that you should not fight a person who is not ready to fight. So, he is feeling all this because he is looking at all the aspects of whether it is right, morally correct to kill your own people for this happiness, this kingdom. So he is doubting all these things now. Yes. Let's move to text 46. Sanjay said, Arjun, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Let's read the purport. While observing the situation of his enemy, Arjun stood up on the chariot, but he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft-hearted person in the devotional service of Lord is fit to receive self-knowledge. Thus end the Bhakti Vedant purports to the first chapter of the Srimad Bhagwat Geeta in the matter of observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yes. We are moving to chapter 2, text 1. Sanjay said, seeing Arjun full of compassion, his mind, sorry, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Now Sanjay is saying that after this, Krishna spoke. Let's read the purport. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjun wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Yeah, I will read this again. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Yeah, compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless, right? A man fallen in the ocean of masons cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, that is the gross material body. So there is a analogy here that this body is called a material dress and the person living under inside this dress is the soul. And the soul is someone who gets direct information or directions from the Lord Himself because it's a part of the Lord's soul. Yes, that's how it is understood. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra. Yes. Or one who laments unnecessarily. Arjun was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagwat Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spiritual soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of the real life. So the entire self-realization, when will you attain self-realization? You can attain self-realization when you are doing things without looking at the result, because you know what you're doing is right, what you're doing is what you're supposed to do. फिर there is a Kabir Doha, right? कर्म कर फल की इच्छा मत रख. So basically we are trying to say is that we keep doing our jobs correctly and with full love and faith. When we do that, the result, whatever is the result, is not for us to take credit of. It is for the Lord, right? So when we are doing things for the betterment or for pleasing the Lord, we forget what is going to be the outcome. And that's when we attain self realization. This is the process which Lord is now going to explain. Finally, Sri Krishna is now going to speak. Text 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjun, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy." Let's read the purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagwan throughout the Gita. Bhagwan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagwan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Yes. Now we are going to learn what these three are. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and the sun planet itself. Yeah, listen very carefully. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced. And one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only Brahman feature of the absolute truth. Yeah. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk. Yeah. The layer, the basically the layer of the sun, the surface of the sun, which is compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. Okay. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth. Yes. Therefore, the bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagwan feature of the absolute truth are the topmost transcendentalists, although all students who are engaged in the study of the absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter. Yes, हम सब एक ही चीज को समझने की ट्राई कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हर एक का लेवल अलग है. Okay. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another. Yes, and yet the students of the three different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagwan is explained by the great authority Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasdev, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagwan. I will repeat. The Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation, yes, is called Bhagwan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord or Bhagwan known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Yes. In quotes from Brahma Samhita 5.1, there are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagwan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the causes of all causes. Quotes close. In the Bhagavatam, also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. In quotes from Bhagavatam 1.3.28, all the lists of the incarnations of the Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of the plenary expansions of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So plenary expansion is basically, this is your body and you are having an aura. Now that aura is like a plenary expansion. Like the sun is the planet and it has a surface that is a disk, that it has a shape, and now there is a sunshine. So the sun planet is only one, but the kind of expansion it has, yeah, that is called plenary expansion, right? The effect that it can reach till here, you know. So therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, the source of both Super Soul and the impersonal Brahman. Yes. Impersonal Brahman we say because Brahman is more like it's not understood as a personality, like a human being or a living entity or an entity. It is just understood as space, Brahman, or light or sound. So these things are called Brahman. These are the who don't have a shape, okay, or who don't have a personality basically. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjun's lamentation for his kinsmen is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word Kutaha, where from? Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagwan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is. Once you have the taste of liberation, you will want to detach from the material world completely. Why? So each soul is having this capability to reach that liberation, right? When we take life on earth, we are taking life to struggle, to to feel the pain. We are not taking life to live in peace because life is not designed that way. Life is a struggle. Why? Because you want to conquer your inabilities, that is your emotional reactions like anger, jealousy, all of these. You will get opportunities in this life to conquer all of those, to conquer your mind completely so that you can reach liberation, right? Self realization. Yes, that's why we take life. So, this is an opportunity for Arjun to overcome this lamentation, to overcome what is his duty vis-a-vis what he is emotionally getting entangled into the material world. Yes. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjun was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjun for his kinsmen. Yes, he did not approve this. Same logic. So when we work hard, we realize a lot of potential in ourselves. We realize we are capable of doing many things, correct? Which we wouldn't know if we would not work hard. So, similarly, it is said that when you get into material bondage, when you are asked to follow your duty, which is working hard, it is hard to fight today. So when you are going to fight, you will learn and you will realize what is the truth, and that will make you realize of yourself more. Yes, and how much you are capable of. And ultimately, the goal is to have some self-realization in whatever you do. So today, if we live today, like let's take an example that today you want to spend the day only doing your duties and not picking an easy way. Easy way was to not fight, yeah, to give up. But don't pick up that way and pick up the way which your heart is telling you to take. And then see, when you struggle, you grow. And growth is the ultimate intention of life. Yes. Um, let's move to text 3. O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. Now Krishna is telling to Arjun, it does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Let's read the purport. Arjun was addressed as the son of Pratha, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjun had a blood relationship with Krishna. If the son of the Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only. And if the son of a Brahman acts impiously, he is a Brahman in name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmans are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjun to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjun was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjun abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjun did not fit his personality. Arjun might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere weakness of heart. कि मैं कितना अच्छा भला सोच रहा हूँ इन लोग के बारे में इसलिए मुझे फाइट नहीं कर पर इतना अच्छा भला सोचना इज एक्चुअली वीकनेस नॉट स्ट्रेंथ we say now we don't know where to apply compassion. Such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such magnanimity or so called non violence should be given up by persons like Arjun under the direct guidance of Krishna. Yes. Let's end here with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Ja. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. Hare Krishna.